Hey everyone, it's Marika here. I live in the Philippines, but I was originally born and raised in Japan, so I am a Junjapa bilingual. I used to hate English. I really did. I struggled so much, and honestly, I thought I'll never be able to speak it. Have you ever felt that way? Have you spent years studying English, but still can't speak it fluently? I know exactly how that feels because I was in the same position. But eventually, I found a way to overcome my struggles. So today, I want to share my personal story. How I went from someone who couldn't speak English at all to someone who can now communicate confidently. I will also talk about what I would do differently if I had to start learning English all over again. And I will give you some practical tips that can help you improve your speaking skills much faster. Like most Japanese people, I learned English in school, but I only studied for exams. I memorized words, grammar rules, and practiced writing essays. But when it came to actually speaking English, I had no confidence at all. At 20, I had an opportunity to go study abroad in the US, and I thought, this is it! If I go to America, I will become so fluent. But the reality was completely different. Even though I was living in an English-speaking environment, I still couldn't speak properly. I struggled to express myself. I couldn't understand fast conversations. And honestly, I felt really frustrated with myself. I remember sitting in class, hearing my classmates speak so naturally, and feeling like I was the only one who didn't belong. I kept asking myself, why isn't my English improving? And then something happened that completely changed my English skills. While studying at a community college, I got a part-time job at the school office, and one of my responsibilities? Answering phone calls. Now, let me tell you, this was terrifying. When you talk to someone face to face, you can rely on body language, facial expressions, and gestures. But on the phone, all you have is their voice. I had to listen carefully, process what they were saying, and respond instantly. And unfortunately, my English wasn't good enough for that. At first, I panicked. I couldn't understand half of what the caller was saying. And even when I did, I just didn't know how to respond so quickly. But instead of giving up, I started preparing. I created scripts for common phone conversations and practiced them repeatedly until I could say them naturally. I bet during that time, my sleep talk was the phone conversation that I practiced. But I also knew that memorizing the talk script wouldn't be enough. Real conversations are actually unpredictable. So then I thought about all the possible questions a caller might ask and prepared responses in advance, all written in English. And most importantly, I focused on speed. I knew I wouldn't have time to think during a phone call, So I trained myself to respond as quickly as possible. So here are key lessons from this experience. Speaking fluently requires practice, not just knowledge. Preparing for unexpected questions is crucial, and speed matters. Conversations move fast, so training for quick responses is essential. Through this experience, I realized my biggest problem wasn't vocabulary or grammar. It was the fact that I had never trained myself to speak in real time, in fast-paced scenarios. I had spent so much time passively learning English, reading, listening, and studying, but almost no time actually using English. Also, I had never trained myself to speak quickly, to process spoken English instantly, or to produce natural sentences without translating in my head. So I wasn't speaking enough. I needed to train my mouth, not just my brain. I wasn't practicing speed. I needed to get used to thinking and responding fast. I wasn't focused on pronunciation. If I couldn't pronounce a word correctly, I couldn't hear it properly either. So, if I were to start from zero today, here's what I would do differently. First, I would build a basic foundation, maybe up to an A-can level 3 or 4 grammar and vocabulary. But after that, I would stop focusing so much on input and start focusing on output as soon as possible. My main practice method: massive amounts of reading aloud, not slow reading, fast reading. When we study alone, we have unlimited time to think, look up words, and create the perfect answer. But in real conversations, we don't have that luxury. So I would train myself to understand spoken English within 1 minute or even less, and write down key points quickly. So here are 2 things I may do. One of the biggest struggles in real conversation was recognizing words I already knew. The problem? My pronunciation was wrong, so I couldn't connect the spoken word, which sounded so differently, with the word that I had in my head. If I had known earlier that pronouncing words correctly helps you hear them better, I would have focused on it from the beginning. So here are 3 key focused areas. Say words out loud to train your pronunciation. Train your ears to process English quickly, and develop fast response skills through time exercises. I struggled with English even after studying abroad, but I learned that the key to fluency is consistent speaking practice. If I had to start over, I would focus on pronunciation, speed training, and real-time thinking. And the best part? You don't need to study abroad to become fluent. With the right practice, you can do it right here in Japan. Nowadays, Japan has more opportunities to use English. Thanks to globalization and inbound tourism, you don't even need to leave the country to practice. If I had realized this earlier, I wouldn't have struggled so much. I hope you found this information helpful and you are now encouraged that I, like you, was born and raised in Japan, but now I can speak English like this. So if I can, you can too. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye bye!